Hey guys, how's it going? Yesterday you were taking notes on measurement and change and some stuff on density. What I wanted to give you guys today is to work on an assignment on how to answer density questions. So this is one of the few things you guys are going to be doing in which you have to do some math. There are a handful of equations on page 1 of your reference table, and the density equation is one of them. Remember, density is basically if an object can sink or float, it's how much stuff, mass, is packed into a space, which is a volume. So the formula for density, it's equal to mass divided by the volume of something. So this is pretty straightforward. Let's say you have like a rock or something, and a rock has, the spelling's really weird there. Rock has a mass of, let's say, 20 grams. We always have to make sure we keep our units, grams. And it has a volume, let's say, of 5 milliliters or centimeters cubed, whichever one. You can use either one. Well, then what would be the density? So it would just be mass divided by volume. So you take 20 grams and divide it by 5. Let's stick with milliliters. So you put that in the calculator, which you all have on your computer. You would get 4 grams per milliliter. And it's important to always keep the units. Okay, you always have to keep the units. That would be your answer for that one. It's a G, grams per milliliters. Now there are other times though in which you're going to have to answer some other questions as well. And what I mean by that is, what if I asks you a question in which you have to figure out mass or volume, and they give you the density. So that's what that density triangle was yesterday, right? So here is our density triangle. It's a triangle in which it looks like this: D, M, V. And the way that it works is whatever it is you're trying to solve for, density, mass, or volume, you take your thumb, which I know you can't see me doing, and you would try to like cover up the one that you're looking for, and that's what you have left is what you would do. For example, just temporarily, I'll delete it. Let's say, like my question on the other slide, I was giving mass and volume, I'm solving for density, but let's say I didn't know the formula. Well, I can go to my triangle and like delete my density. What would I have left? Mass over V, volume. Mass divided by volume. That would be my formula. Right now, if I just undo really quickly and bring it back, let's say I have the opposite question now. Let's say I'm given a question and I say, okay, I have a rock. Okay, and I know that the mass is 20 grams, and I know that the density is 4 grams per milliliter. Well, what's my volume? Well, on your reference table, they just give you D equals M divided by V. So how would you know what equation to use to solve for volume? Well, you would use your triangle right here. You would take your thumb or a piece of paper or something, and you would try to cover up, you're looking for volume, so cover up the V or get rid of the V. What are you left with? M divided by D. So now you would just take, so you would have your mass divided by your density. So you take 20 grams, that's the unit of measurement for mass, divided by 4 grams per milliliter. And you would do the math on that and you would get 5 milliliters. You always have to have units. Why milliliters? Well, because think about math and you guys have learned how things can cancel out. Grams can cancel each other out and you're left with milliliters. Now you can do the same thing if you have a question about mass. Let's say you're solving for mass. You would just cover up the M and you'd have D times D. So really quickly, let me show you these. These are your different formulas. Density, if you're solving for density, it's mass divided by volume. If you're solving for mass, it's density times volume. you're solving for volume, it's mass divided by density. So these are the different formulas that you would use to do the different equations. Okay? A couple other things really quickly to remember here. One more thing here. The density of water is 1 gram per milliliter or cubic centimeter. There are 2 units of measurement. Okay? So if anything's greater than 1, it will sink in water. If it's less than 1, it will float in water. Okay, density of water. Bigger dense, more dense things sink, less dense things float on top of it. All right, so you need all that information. Go back and show you this one right here. You need this information to do the questions for the assignment today that'll be due tomorrow.